welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty universal, negative thoughts. They really can impact everything, can't they? Our self-esteem, anxiety levels.
They absolutely can. And, our aim here is to give everyone listening some solid, actionable strategies to get a handle on these thoughts. We're pulling from quite a comprehensive guide that looks at it from, well, a few different perspectives.
Okay, and here's something that really grabbed me. These thoughts, they often work under the surface, almost unconsciously, like a habit you didn't know you had.
Exactly. Or even like a faulty survival mechanism sometimes. And then there's the negativity bias.
Yes, the idea that the bad stuff just seems to weigh more psychologically than the good stuff sticks around longer.
Precisely. So let's break down what we actually mean by negative thoughts.
Good idea.
Fundamentally, they're these pessimistic views, these interpretations, really, of ourselves, the future, the world. Often they're what we call cognitive distortions.
Cognitive distortions, so like flawed thinking traps.
Yeah, exactly. Your mind kind of twists reality into something negative, often without any, solid evidence. They tend to pop up automatically. They're super efficient in a way, often extreme, and usually very self-critical. That little voice saying, I'll never be good enough.
Right, that automatic, harsh inner critic. So what's the real world impact of letting that run wild?
Oh, it's pretty significant. It can really ramp up stress and anxiety, definitely lower your self-worth, maybe even lead to feeling isolated.
And it connects to broader mental health stuff, too.
For sure. These patterns, like constantly ruminating or that negative self-talk, they can contribute to issues like depression or anxiety or make existing conditions worse. It's often a two-way street.
A symptom and a cause, sort of.
And interestingly, it's not just mental. There's growing evidence linking it to physical health. Things like blood pressure, how quickly you recover from illness, inflammation, even sleep and pain levels.
Wow. Okay. So it runs deep.
Yep.
What are some of the typical ways these negative thoughts actually show up, the patterns?
Well, those cognitive distortions we mentioned are common patterns. For instance, filtering. That's like zooming in on one negative detail and ignoring everything else positive.
Like getting 10 compliments and one critique, but only hearing the critique.
Exactly that. Then there's discounting the positive, just brushing off good things that happen. Oh, that was just luck.
I know that one.
All or nothing thinking is another big one. Seeing things in black and white, no gray areas, failure or success, nothing in between.
And overgeneralizing.
That's taking one, maybe isolated negative event and turning it into a never-ending pattern. I failed this test, so I'm going to fail everything.
Oof. Okay. And jumping to conclusions.
Yeah, two types there, really. Mind reading, assuming you know what someone else is thinking, usually negatively, and fortune telling, predicting a negative outcome with, zero evidence.
Sounds exhausting just listing them. What about getting stuck in those loops?
That's rumination. Just replaying worries or negative situations over and over in your head. It's often reactive to stress. And negative self-talk has its own patterns, too. Those constant less than comparisons, focusing only on the negative parts of something, blaming yourself unfairly, maybe labeling yourself, I'm such an idiot.
And these patterns differ slightly depending on the context, like depression versus anxiety.
Yeah, you often see themes. In depression, it might be more around hopelessness or worthlessness. In anxiety, it's often exaggerated worries, worst-case scenarios. But the first step, always, is just noticing, recognizing these patterns when they happen.
Okay, so awareness is step one. Now, how do we actually start fighting back, or maybe managing them?
Well, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, offers a really structured way. The core idea is simple. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all linked.
They influence each other.
Exactly. So CBT often starts with just noticing your thoughts, self-monitoring. Maybe keeping a journal, a thought record, becoming aware of when these negative thoughts pop up.
Okay, so you spot them, then what?
Then you challenge them. You question them, like a detective. Ask yourself, what's the actual evidence for this thought? Is it really true? Are there other ways to look at this? This is sometimes called Socratic questioning.
Looking for proof, basically.
Yeah. And then comes cognitive restructuring. That's the catch it, check it, change it idea. You catch the negative thought, you check its validity, and then you actively work to change it into something more realistic, more balanced.
So instead of, I completely failed that presentation.
Maybe it's, okay, that part didn't go as planned, but what did I learn? What went well? Reframing failure as a learning opportunity.
That makes sense, changing the narrative. What else is in the toolkit?
Mindfulness and meditation are powerful too, but they work a bit differently. It's more about observing your thoughts without getting caught up in them.
So not fighting them, but just letting them pass.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Noticing them without judgment. Just being aware in the present moment. Simple breathing exercises can really help create that mental space. And the benefits are well documented. Better well-being, less reactivity to stress, better self-regulation, less rumination.
Creating distance. Okay. What about actively trying to be more positive? Does that work?
It can, definitely. That's where positive self-talk and affirmations come in. Consciously replacing that negative inner chatter with more encouraging, compassionate statements.
Like telling yourself, I am capable, or I can handle this.
Exactly. And it might feel a bit forced at first, but over time, research suggests it can actually help rewire neural pathways, neuroplasticity. It can boost self-esteem, reduce anxiety symptoms, improve stress management.
So we can actually train our brains, in a way.
In a sense, yes. And don't forget lifestyle factors. They play a huge role.
Right, the basics, like sleep.
Crucial. Not getting enough sleep can seriously fuel negative thinking, and negative thinking can ruin sleep. It's a vicious cycle. Aiming for that 7-8 hours of quality sleep, having good sleep habits, makes a difference.
And diet. I hear more about the gut-brain connection.
Definitely relevant. A balanced, healthy diet supports mood regulation. Things like processed foods and excessive sugar. Probably not helping.
Okay. And exercise.
Huge benefits there. Stress relief, endorphin release, improved mood. Even moderate activity, like 30 minutes most days, can have a positive impact.
So physical self-care is mental self-care too. What about that reframing idea again? Can we dig into that a bit more?
Sure. Reframing is really about actively changing your perspective. So step 1 is awareness, notice the thought. Step 2, question it, is it accurate, helpful? Step 3, look for alternatives. Are there other ways to see this? Step 4, challenge it, argue against it. And 5, replace it consciously. Choose a more balanced or positive thought.
That catch it, check it, change it framework seems useful here too.
It is. And using a thought record can help walk you through those steps. Other little things help too, like seeking constructive feedback instead of just assuming criticism, consciously noticing pleasant sensory experiences, doing small acts of kindness, practicing gratitude, even just telling yourself, choose again when you catch a negative spiral starting.
And you mentioned journaling earlier as well. How does that fit in specifically?
Journaling is great for getting thoughts out of your head and onto paper. It helps you understand yourself better, spot triggers for negative thinking, and practice that cognitive reframing we talked about.
Just writing it down can make it less overwhelming.
Often, yes. It can reduce stress, improve mood, even help with sleep sometimes. It interrupts rumination. Different methods work for different people thought records. Just stream of consciousness writing using prompts, the 2-column method where you list the negative thought and then a rational response.
Lots of options. Now, this is all really helpful for self-management. But when does someone need to think about getting, professional help?
That's a really important question. If you're finding it consistently hard to manage your emotions, if your ability to function day-to-day work, school, relationships is significantly impacted, that's a sign.
Okay. What else?
Noticeable changes in physical health, like sleep or appetite, if relationships are really strained or you're withdrawing socially, if you've gone through significant trauma or loss and are struggling to cope. Also, persistent lack of enjoyment in things you used to like, feeling constantly overwhelmed, deep sadness or pervasive anxiety, intrusive thoughts that are hard to dismiss.
Feelings of hopelessness?
Definitely. Hopelessness is a big red flag. Also relying on unhealthy coping mechanisms like substance abuse, or crucially, any thoughts of harming yourself or others. If self-help strategies aren't enough or things are getting worse, it's absolutely time to reach out to a therapist, counselor, or doctor.
And things like CBT are often used in therapy too.
Very much so. CBT is a common therapeutic approach, and options like online therapy make it more accessible for many people now. Don't hesitate to seek support if you need it.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the main message seems to be that overcoming negative thoughts is an active, ongoing process.
It really is. It involves understanding why and how they happen, and then consistently applying these strategies, whether it's CBT techniques, mindfulness, positive self-talk, taking care of your lifestyle, consciously reframing, or journaling.
And being patient and kind to yourself through it all.
Absolutely essential. Self-compassion is key. It's not about instantly eliminating all negative thoughts, but about changing your relationship with them and building resilience over time. Consistent practice makes a difference.
Great. So maybe a final thought for everyone listening. Which one of these strategies felt like it might fit for you right now? What's maybe one tiny step, one small thing you could try today to just begin shifting one recurring negative thought? Exploring these tools really can lead to significant change.